you overall rough estimate. We will have a interview kind of session, one-to-one interview. There are four board members. I'd like to introduce you board members. We have ma'am Simran Setha ma'am, which is currently college pass out from CSE branch.
Hey.
Then we have Ashish from civil. Also, we have Akansha from Triple E itself. Is this Arman? Do you guys know any Arman? Right, deny the entry. Okay, and we have Akansha from Triple E, and that's it. Yeah. So, Akansha, you there? Akansha hasn't joined. All right. No, no problem. So we'll start with today's session. All right. So Akansha is here with us. So now you know the board members. I'll be conducting today's interview, and before starting, when you are asked to speak or you come up to speak, you must introduce yourself. While introducing, these are the following things you need to say: your name, your branch, your semester, your schooling, your hobbies, and your hometown. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who wants to go first?
I can.
Yes, Saurabh.
Good evening, good board members. I am Saurabh Sahu from ETNT branch, first semester. I have completed my higher studies from DV Public School, ECC Jamul. My hometown is a small village named Rashnara from outer skirts of Durg actually. So, and my hobbies is like watching podcast and listening to music, what movies, cooking. I have discovered new hobby in this lockdown, cooking.
All right, Saurabh,
Yes, sir.
just a second. I'm opening your resume. All right. Yeah. So, Saurabh, your as you said, your hobbies are listening podcasts. What kind of podcast do you listen?
Sir, actually, podcast related to entrepreneurs in this podcast. So I listen particular type of podcast in which entrepreneurs are invited to share their experiences and how they have built their product and something like that. Sir.
All right. And what type of cuisines you like to cook?
Sir, actually, I have learned new things like white sauce, pasta, sandwiches, mayonnaise sandwiches, etc.
And which was the last movie you watched?
Sir, The Beautiful Mind, I watched yesterday.
The Beautiful Mind. All right. It's a good movie. Uh, all right. What do you believe are? Tell me just three strengths of yours.
So my strength is I am curious always. I don't know what I search for, but I am curious. Every day I search random stuffs and I learn random stuff from and I love to interact with people, with new people. I love to uh, interact with and learn new things from them. My hobbies are like I am enthusiastic whole day and curious, dedicated in anything I do.
All right. And three weaknesses you'd like to share?
Uh, So first is I am a beginner in tech field, so I am not aware of so sir, as I mentioned, my skill is and I am learning currently Android app development. So my weakness is like I am not aware of the recent libraries that are being launched that are helpful in developing good apps and artificial intelligence. Sir, I would love to learn in that field. So these are sir.
So basically, you're saying that you lack knowledge as of now.
Uh, 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 kind of.
Apart from that, any other weakness you'd like to share?
Sir, over temper, high, sir.
Short-tempered.
Short-tempered. Sorry.
And short-tempered, anything else?
Mm, lazy. Bit lazy.
Lazy. All right. Simran, ma'am, you'd like to ask something?
Yeah. So you mentioned that you love to interact. So how many
Yes, sir.
friends have you interacted and made
Uh,
during these 2 years because it was all time lockdown?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I have discovered LinkedIn, so I am connecting to many of the seniors of our college. I have talked to many of our branch mates. I have made new friends by casually messaging them, "How are you?" And that's the way I interact with them. I have learned many from them.
You're in second year or first year?
First year,
Second. First year.
first semester.
Okay. So try to make more friends. It will
Yes, sir.
help you.
Yes, sir.
And one more thing I would like to mention that uh, not having knowledge is not your weakness. Like it will overcome by time, and you will
Yes,
get the knowledge, and you'll get to know about all the libraries. So that's not a point of weakness. So don't consider it as like
sir.
okay.
All right, Ashish. Mike.
No problem.
All right. Akansha, you'd like to ask something? Turn on your mic. I believe there's some network issue. All right. All right, Saurabh, tell me one thing. You know that in our country we still have in in probably in certain rural areas we still have this ritual of giving dowry. Uh,
Yeah, yes.
suppose you become a senior level officer, government officer, and you are getting married, and your father-in-law wants to gift you some expensive gift, but he is doing it just for the sake of, let's say, as a gesture of gift, not as a gesture of dowry, and he insists you that you must take it, and that is not giving him a certain type of load. So, what would you do? And in that situation, how will you tackle that situation?
Sir, actually, I basically describe Dowry as something giving to for the groom family and giving things that are that that bride's family is incapable of giving, sir. Something like giving higher things like bikes and cars. They are instead they are incapable of. So, if my father-in-law is well settled, he has all the money. So, and he is giving like a gift, not as a dowry. So, that would be okay, sir. I would accept that.
You will accept it.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. It was nice talking to you, Saurabh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
Sir, may I? May
Yeah,
I
you
go
can.
next? Yes,
Sure.
sir. So, good evening, respected board members and dear batchmates. This is Shivani Rathia from first semester, civil branch. I'm from Ambikapur, Sarguja district. Basically, I'm from a village named Darima, which is 20 kilometers far from the main town. My hobbies are painting and gardening, and I'm interested in making crafts by using the waste materials. My strengths are my hard work, I'm determined, and my family are my strength. And my weakness is my emotional behavior, and sometimes I hesitate. So these are my weakness.
All right. Uh, so, can you please repeat your weaknesses?
Yes, sir. My emotional behavior and sometimes hesitation is my weakness.
Hesitation for what? To talking to people or to opening up to to others? What type of hesitation do you have?
So sometimes what happens to me is I know the answer, but I hesitate that maybe the answer is wrong. So I will like I like to consider it as a weakness, which I need to improve.
And how are you going to improve it?
Sir, as I joined this session, and the motto of my joining this session is to improve my self-confidence, and I like to decrease my hesitation.
All right. Tell me your three strengths.
Yes, sir. My strength is my hard work, my family, and um, I'm determined.
Your family, you say.
Yes, sir.
Why do you believe so?
Sir, because when I get demotivated, my family is enough to motivate me. They give me the right path. I don't need any motivational videos or something like that to motivate myself. So, this way, I believe that my family are my strength.
All right. Uh, I'll tell you a situation. Suppose you're made DM. You know the meaning of DM, district
Yes, sir.
magistrate. Yeah.
District magistrate.
You are,
Yes.
you are made DM of Chhattisgarh,
Yes, sir.
and you. What are the three things you will do on your first day?
So on first day, I visited the villages nearby me, and I saw the situation of the villagers. According, if there is any scarcity, I told them that it will be cleared very soon, and I went to schools nearby government schools, and I basically focus on their education, the quality of education, and I tell their teachers or the student that whenever they need any help, they come to me, and and just make them sure that you will get best education if I'm become the DM of this district. So I focus on basically on the education of poor peoples, and I went to the
So only
places.
on education.
Not, sir, not only education. I also see the problems related to the poor people, as many people has a problem of water scarcity and food. They also have a problem that they don't get a proper amount of selling their food. So I focus on these things firstly.
All right. Simran ma'am. All right, Akansha, you'd like to ask something?
Yes. First of all, good evening, Simran ma'am. Good evening to everyone also. So my question for you is that what would you do if you were asked to complete a task you have never done before?
First of all, I see the task that what is it, and if I need any help, I asked to my seniors or the experienced person who did it before, and I try to know from my seniors that what is all about.
All right. Simran ma'am.
Oh, you were saying like when you will visit the village, you will try to improve the quality of the education, right? So
Yes.
when it's directly not linked to you, so how you will be able to make any steps, like just the steps what you can think of.
Firstly, I make a meeting of all the um, I advised my juniors to take meeting of the government schools or teachers or principals, and in middle school, as we know that they are headmasters. So I strictly told them to manage the quality of education, focus more on their quality education.
Okay, let's move to Ashish if he has the
Ashish.
question.
Yeah, I have a question. So, how do you handle failure?
So failure,
Yeah.
yes. First of all, I told them that failure and success, these are the two paths of our life. It's a journey of our life. Failure doesn't mean that we fail. It means that it's first attempt to learning. And it is well said by APJ Abdul Kalam, there's no means next opportunity. So I make them clear that failure doesn't mean you fail for a life. It means that you get an opportunity. If you fail, it means that you learn something new. It means that you never did before and you are doing that. You are doing that work. So I make them clear that don't get disappointed from this, your failure. You just need to focus more. You don't lose your hope. Just be faithful, be motivated by yourself, and be confident to move the next step of your success.
All right. Thank you, Shivani.
Thank you, sir.
Nice talking to you. Anyone? Yeah. Next, who wants to go next?
Sir, may I?
Krishna. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good evening to all respected board members and also to all the people present here. My name is Krishnan Gupta. I'm from I'm from AT&T branch, second year, fourth sem, and my hometown is Raipur itself. My hobbies are playing cricket, badminton. Also in lockdown, I started two new things like cooking and playing flute. That is an instrument, musical instrument, flute. And also I like listening music.
Right, Krishna. Uh, suppose. Can you tell me according to you, what is the real reason or the reason behind sorrow in world?
Sir, the reason behind sorrow in world.
Hmm.
Sir, basically, I think any reason for being sad, anyone for being sad, I just think that there is only one reason is that when we expect something and we don't get that. It's what I think is that when we expect something and suppose I expected to be get the job but I don't get, so I got sad, and this
All right.
this is the only reason that I think.
So according to you, expectation is the biggest reason behind sorrow, isn't it? Tell.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. If
Tell,
it if
all right. All right. Tell me. Uh, what are if you are to be made you are to be chosen as an IAS or IPS officer, that is you are to, if you want to become an IAS or IPS officer, what are the
yes,
three qualities you have which can make you that an IAS or IPS officer?
sir. First of all, to clear the exam, we need to have dedication and hard work. So to clear that exam,
Hmm.
also we should have the patriotism, that is love for the country, because
Hmm.
these two jobs are really required to be that. If we will not be like touched, patriotism will not be in our heart, then we cannot deal it correctly. And also we should be aware of we should be like connected to the grounds, that aware with the problems of people, so we can solve them. If we are like
You
we
know.
are.
Yeah, see. Patriotism. Every Indian is a patriot, and in their
Yes,
own
sir.
ways. So patriotism cannot be a perfect point for you to become an IAS or IPS officer, because I'm also a patriot. Everyone here is a patriot. No one is
Yes,
anti-national,
sir.
right? So, what are the qualities you possess which can make you an IAS or IPS officer, or per se IRS or IFS officer?
So that is we can say dedication for development, or that if want to be IPS, then we should have like balidan.
Okay, if we just leave this IAS, IPS, but just think about IES, okay, Indian Engineering Services. So, what you would think will be eligible for you to be in that? Because since your branch is also qualified electronics and telecommunication for the examination, like CS वाले उसको नहीं दे सकते. Was I
Krishna,
audible?
you were audible. Krishna is, I believe, facing some network issue. Right, no issues. We'll continue with Krishna afterwards. Who is left? Krishna?
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
Yes,
Please
sir.
go ahead. Yeah.
Sir.
Did you listen to Simran ma'am's question?
Yes, sir. She asked about IES, being IES.
Correct. Correct.
Sir, IES, if I'm not wrong, that IES is like technical position. It's like equivalent to IAS, but in technical field, because engineers only can give. Am I right?
Although both the jobs are very different, but yeah, you can compare it in some sense.
In that way. So actually IES is not related by dealing with people. So for being IES, like for clearing exam, it should be hardworking. And the second thing is that I should be like what developments I can do, because I don't know what IES do, but what I think that they are for the making the development of the city or wherever the place they were appointed.
All right. Uh, Tell me what are your views on Mahatma Gandhi? What do you believe he was right every time, or he was the biggest patriot or nationalist in the whole history?
Sir, what I believed from the very childhood, I believe that he's the very greatest man, and still I believe for many things, because he did very good things. He made India free, but what I think that any human cannot be always right. So he might be wrong in many places, but what he has done, the main thing that he had made us, he have given us freedom. So that is like invaluable. We are still enjoying that freedom, so that is like very priceless. But yes, he is also human, so he may have done some mistakes in his life.
Can you tell me two mistakes he made in his life, according to you?
uh, Sir, what I think is that I don't know very accurately, but maybe shared the division between India and Pakistan, maybe he is involved in somewhat in that. So that is what I feel his mistake. And one more mistake. Uh, what I have, what, I don't know correctly, but what I have seen many people saying that what he says, it's like good things he used to say, but he was found doing some things that not good, like some photos with girls, maybe somewhere we have seen. I don't know correctly. I don't know. Just what I know.
All right. Any other board member who wants to ask questions?
Like, since you're electronics and telecommunication engineer, and in my first year I was allocated this branch, and I
Yes, ma'am.
changed it to computer science. So I have a question for you,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
in these COVID times, we know that how the health emergency and with the different technical machines, we're having problems and shortage. So anything, have you ever thought of like a machine or a circuit that could come up and help these health workers or in health industry with from your branch? Because electronics and telecommunication build circuits and
Ma'am, basically, what I can think is that the hospitals are getting very much load because of the shortage of bed.
Mhm.
So, ma'am, when like the ventilators, which was already been prepared,
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
I am asking that what you can come up with something innovative that will be helpful in these times, like just some imaginary situation, like a
Yes, ma'am.
imaginary machine, I can say, that you can
Yes,
come
ma'am.
up with via your knowledge till 2 years or something that could help. I'm asking.
Okay. Uh,
Like we can
uh,
take oximeter as an example, right?
yes, ma'am.
It doesn't take up blood or something, but it calculates the oxygen of a person.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
उसके अंदर भी it will also have integrated circuits and things. So
Yes, ma'am.
anything like that, you can, any machine you have ever thought of, any innovative idea you have.
Ma'am, basically, I can think just I got the idea now itself that the test, the antigen test, the RT-PCR test that we go to hospital and do, so that we can make a machine to test at home. This is what I can think.
Alright. Anyone? Akash, Ashish?
No, Gaurav.
All right. Thank you, Krishna. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
So can I?
Yeah, Bhagyalakshmi.
Uh, a very good evening, respected board members. This is A. Bhagyalakshmi, and I am a student of BTech Computer Science in first sem, GC Raipur. My hometown is Raipur itself, and my hobbies include reading books and dancing, both contemporary and classical. My short-term goals is currently focusing on my engineering degree and data science, and my long-term goal is to become a tech entrepreneur.
All right. Bhagyalakshmi, you say that leadership is one of your strengths.
Yes.
So, can you please define leadership?
I think that leadership is something about that a lot of students, or let's say my colleagues in my age, they are not very comfortable or confident on taking tasks if they are given. But I believe myself that when you are given a task, you have to focus on it and give your all best. And leadership is not just about leading and making people do the other work, but it is also about giving your best and making the others do their best for the job.
Who are your favorite leaders? Name any three.
Uh, to be honest, I do not have particular favorite leaders, but my role model is Maya Angelou.
All right. Anyone else? There's only one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Uh, in recently, Allahabad name was changed to Prayagraj. So, what do you think is the significance behind changing state's name or city's name? Do you think it is important, or do you think it is unnecessary?
Uh, to be very honest, I believe that in India, a lot of people have very different opinions. Let's say it would be quite contradictory if I give certain examples, but I believe that people should feel uh, happy in their state and that they are belonging to that particular state. So if they change the names to please the people, well, it is for the people itself. So if they do it, then it's okay. But if we have certain political agendas, then it is not right.
What do you think? Was there a political agenda behind naming Allahabad's name? Sorry, we cannot hear you.
Sir, I said that for not this one, for certain this example, but I just think that it is up to the people, and if they are happy with the changes, then
I'm asking you a simple question. Was there a political agenda behind changing Allahabad's name to Prayagraj?
no,
You
no,
don't believe.
no, no, it wasn't.
All right. Uh, Tell me your three weaknesses. Can you hear me?
Yes, I did
Tell
not
me your
hear the question right.
tell me your three weaknesses.
Okay, my weaknesses is being highly argumentative, and I shouldn't say this, but being insensitive, and I hate delegating tasks to others.
All right. So, which is your hometown?
Raipur. Actually, my father has been in a transferable job. So for the last 9 years, I've been in Raipur. So I would consider Raipur as my hometown now.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have a South Indian connect?
I do, but my father is in government job. He was in BSNL. So we had to travel a lot of places, mainly in Madhya Pradesh and then Raipur. So I would not say that I have a South Indian background. It's just a surname.
All right. Tell me one thing. There is a general
Yes, sir.
perception that. Can you hear my question?
Yes, sir.
There is general perception that there is a distress between North Indians and South Indians. It is also said that India is certainly not a united country, but it is a mixture of two countries, which is North India and South India, because the culture, the tradition, all are very different in both South India and North India. So, do you believe there is a certain distress between both the states?
No, I certainly do not believe that there is some sort of distinction between the two parts of India. Like certain jobs, let's say railways, and I take the example of railways. Many of the people employed in railways are from South and Bengal, and particularly not from North India. But we have everyone from these particular states in all over India. So we do not find any sort of problems between these people living in such areas. So I do not think that it is something to be discussed about, that there is a problem. Some people may think that they have certain differences which they may not like, but let's talk about food, the culture, the festivals. We all celebrate all of them equally. So I think it's all the beauty of India.
All right. Yeah. Board members, anyone else who wants to question?
I would like to ask that why you consider your weakness is your argumentative behavior.
Uh, I think that this is a very bad thing to admit, that I'm highly argumentative, but I believe that it is important to know the correct thing. So even if you have to be a little bit argumentative, or it's a bad thing again, being aggressive, it is important to know the truth and to peel out all the lies. So I think that this is the reason I'm a little too argumentative about certain topics.
Okay. Like you can list like something, any incident that happened with you and you consider it as very good and it helped you being argumentative.
Uh, Last year we had a debate on the topic that is religion good for politics? Now, I believe a lot of people will think that politics has a lot of corruption and using the name of religion is really bad for politics. But I believe that the topic was about mixing religion with politics and not the politicians. So we should take the basic principles of politics rather than bring out all the bad parts of the politicians which we are facing in the current scenario.
What do you mean by basic principles of politics?
Uh, like Mahabharat, from Mahabharat we can learn a lot of ruling, how a king will rule his kingdom, and these principles. I believe that a lot of times when we have mixed religion with politics, it brings out the worst of people. And talking about a country like India, it is really, really important to have both the political and religion principles mixed together for harmonious country to work.
Akansha, you may ask further questions if you want to.
Kansha or Ashish? Yeah, Kansha.
Yes, I would like to ask, what weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could? If you could.
If if I could, what weird things, if we say, then a lot of people, I believe, have perceptions that women are not equally as good in the society in not only the topics of working at home, working outside, but I think that there is a basic thinking of people that there should be an equal distribution of work, but we can find that a lot of people do not accept this opinion that everyone should have equal work opportunities. But if I had to make a certain thought process to be understood between the people, then it must be that job opportunities and certain work which we have to be done in home and outside, it is not discriminated by gender, and both the genders should understand that.
All right. My last question, Ashish, you would like to ask something? All right. So my last
No,
question to
Gaurav, you
you.
may ask.
Okay. My last question to you, simply, you don't have to exaggerate or give in detail. Just tell me three things. If you are given superpowers, what are the three things you want to change in the world?
Uh, Three things to be changed. One superpower would be making petroleum infinite, if that's possible, because in, well, I do not have to explain it, but just making petrol
All right.
infinite for usage. And secondly, I would think that education should be free completely for all ages.
Okay.
And thirdly, I would say that the trees and the oxygen levels should never be decreased on Earth.
All right. All right. Thank you, Bhaglakshmi. So it was very nice talking to you. Anyone else who wants to go?
Thank you.
Sir,
May
may
I,
I?
sir?
Vyapar.
All right, sir. Good evening, sir. So, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Good evening, sir. So, I am Vyapak Tiwari. I am in the Electronics and Telecommunication Department in the first semester. I live in Bhilai, but basically I am from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. And so, my hobbies are reading and writing and listening to soft music.
All right. Vyapak, you have written in your resume that your weakness is lack of discipline and laziness.
Yes, sir.
So you believe it is a weakness, but have you done something to overcome it?
Yes, sir. So, lately I've been trying meditation, and so it has really helped me a lot. So you became when you meditate, you start some meditation self takes efforts. For people it may seem like it's just sitting at one place for 5 minutes, but controlling your body, controlling your mind, it makes discipline. It creates discipline from within. So I am doing it. I am dedicated towards meditation for solely for this purpose.
And you say you like reading, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is the book you are currently reading, or which was the last book you read?
The last book I read was The 20th Wife by the Indian American author Indu Sundaresan. And currently I'm reading the very popular book India After Gandhi uh, by this very popular author Ramchandra Guha.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give you a hypothetical situation. You need to
Yes, sir.
tell me how you react. Suppose there's a situation, there's a girl you like very much. The girl likes you as well,
Yes,
and
sir.
you tell about that girl in your home, and you believe that. At least you believe that your mother is an open-minded person. This is certainly a
Yes, sir.
hypothetical situation. You don't have to connect it to reality.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you believe that your mother is a very open-minded person,
Mhm.
but when you told her about the girl you like, she reacted in an unexpected manner, and she
Yes, sir.
tells you that if you marry to that girl, I'll kill myself. So now the girl is also present over there, and she says that if you won't marry to me, I'll also kill myself. Both of them have knives in their hands. Uh, whom would you choose in that particular situation? You don't have a choice to choose both of them or to persuade them, but it is a situation. So you have to choose one. Whom will you choose, and under what circumstances?
So now that is a so now that is a really tough question. But I would say, sir, first of all, sir, I believe my convincing ability. That is what so I have even mentioned. I might have mentioned it on my such strengths. So I would try everything. The word of mouth. I would try to convince them. And so from from my experience, I can say that I have been very good at convincing my mother. I would try to convince my mother because I have known her since forever. I played in her lap, so uh, I believe that I would be able to convince her rather than convincing the girl. And so, if situation arises, it's just an if. If the situation arises, I would definitely choose my mother. So there's no if and but about it.
Right. So you are a mama's boy. Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. It's good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more thing.
Yes, sir.
Elections has been going on in West Bengal and coming up in Tamil Nadu and Delhi itself. The rallies are going on in a very certain manner, which is not to be expected in such pandemic condition. But still,
Yes, sir.
when our Prime Minister on one hand says that you should wear mask and you should maintain distances, you should avoid coming out of your homes, but still they organize such big rallies of lakhs of people. Do you think our politicians are hypocrite, or do you think it is a necessity for our nation to for such rallies?
No, so first of all, nowadays, so in this pandemic time, we have switched online. We've switched everything online. So if even if the politicians want to convey their messages, so the social media is very much vast nowadays, so not so every party, every big party nowadays have ground level workers, so they can communicate the message given by the higher level politicians to the masses over there as well. Now, sir, in this particular aspect, what I believe is, so more than the politicians, it is the election commission's responsibility. Because, sir, you see, even if we talk about the honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he is a politician, sir. So on the other hand, the one leading the Election Commission of India is a bureaucrat. So he has been trained to handle such situations. So he not specifically talking about uh, the election commissioner himself, but the entire election commission. There's the whole commission. So they should enforce strict actions, sir. They should enforce strict laws, and then they should be efficient in enforcing them.
No, because the Election Commission says that they are taking every possible measure to control the pandemic or situation. But we know that they have failed, and we also know that it is not hidden respect that Election Commission don't is not independent nowadays. So, as a prime minister or as a chief minister, as a big political leader itself, do you think our prime minister is doing the right thing, or he's wrong in certain ways?
So clearly he is wrong in certain ways. I'm not talking specifically about Mr. Modi. So had anyone been the prime minister at this particular time, whether from Aam Aadmi Party or from the Bharatiya Janata Party or from the Indian National Congress, I would have said the same thing. That sir, in such situation, one needs not to behave this way, sir. I mean, so when you become the prime minister or the chief minister, people look up to you. People believe you. People reciprocate what you do.
That
So
is the
clearly,
thing. Na?
that is
If
yes,
you
sir.
are the prime minister is not wearing the mask, then people reciprocate them. So they will also not wear the mask. They don't feel the need to wear the mask. So how can you justify his action?
No, sir. Clearly, I'm justifying. That is what I'm saying, that this is wrong.
It is. So, but
Yes,
you're
sir.
justifying it by saying that every politician that have done that in his place. Uh, that is what I'm asking. All right.
No, sir. I
No,
would like
no
to
issue.
clarify myself here.
Hmm.
Sir, I clearly believe that it is wrong whether it's done by any prime minister of any. I mean, had the prime minister been any party, I wouldn't have said that that is correct. But on the other hand, so looking at the big picture, that is what I believe, that the whole responsibility is on the Election Commission of India. That is why the commission has been made.
All right. Simran, you'd
Yes.
like to ask something?
Later on, I'll first give chance to Akansha and Ashish.
Okay. Akansha, Ashish?
Yeah, I would like to ask that Vyapak, in your resume, you have written that you are running a website named sarkarivarkari.com. Can you tell me about
Yes, sir.
that website and also the logic behind the name you kept?
So when I was okay, so first thing, so my website is about for people preparing for all sort of government examinations. Sir, I myself am an aspirant of UPSC Civil Services examination, so I thought of creating a blog. So I've been writing on Quora. It's a very popular platform, and so I was in the partnership program as well. So I made handsome sum from there. So that is how the idea clicked, that I should own my own website, drive in traffic. So that is why I created this website. And so behind the name, sir, this is the Indian language. I mean, when so let me justify by giving an example. If you want to in Indian families, if you want to send someone to get fruits, you would normally say कि जा फल वल ले आ यार कुछ. This is what we say. So sir, when I kept the name Sarkari Varkari, so the motive behind the name was to connect to people.
Sounds sketchy.
That is what I thought.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, Akansha?
No, we can move.
No question. All right. Recently Supreme Court passed the law, passed their decision of making the Ram Mandir. So, what do you believe it could? Can you justify or give any reason why Supreme Court did that, or what do you think is making Ram Mandir will contribute in our states or countries' development?
Okay, so first of all, about the Honorable Supreme Court's decision, I cannot say that whether the decision was correct or not. So moving on, so about you asked that will it contribute to the development? So certainly no, it won't contribute. So it was being done because a lot of people. So this is a democratic country, and people's will is supreme in any democracy. That is the whole idea of democracy. That is why they chose to create Ram Mandir. I mean, they decided to do so. And so I am not aware of what happened in the Supreme Court and what kind of arguments took place and whether it was technical or not. So, but so I would say this, that it surely wouldn't contribute to the development of the country or state.
It could contribute to the development because it could attract tourists as well. So it could contribute
Yes,
to the GDP of the state or the country. So you can how could you say it could not contribute to the development of the country?
So surely it can. I do not have enough data right now to justify my answer. So, but whenever we talk of top monuments or like top tourist destinations in India, I've never heard in international terms. Speaking of international terms, I've never heard a temple's name come up that international travelers are traveling. Surely it would attract a lot of internal pilgrims.
All right. So
Just for your
yes,
information,
sir.
like Myanmar as a country, neighbor of India, and the only reason it is famous for its temples, and it has a vast variety and great architecture of temples, and it's like very kind of beauty, and tourists get attracted towards there.
Okay, tell me, Vyapak, for what India has been known for? What are the tourist places, according to you, believe is uh, attracts tourism?
So Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal.
So the first name which pops up is Taj Mahal.
All right. Any?
And so many. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What else?
So people travel to Kashmir as well. International travelers, especially.
And that's it. Two places.
No, sir. No. Sir, there are many. So there are many. There are countless number of places, sir. Like in Madhya Pradesh, it is Pachmadi. I am from Madhya Pradesh. So when I went to Pachmadi, I got to see a lot of national tourists, and so I also,
Okay,
sir, I
tell me
also went
tourist
to
places of Madhya
yes, sir.
Pradesh itself. Only Madhya Pradesh.
Uh, Sir, in Madhya Pradesh, the first which I named is Pachmadi, and people visit Kanha National Park in Madhya Pradesh.
Hmm.
Sir, so
Only
these
two
are the two
places.
I can think of right now.
When
No,
you
sir.
when we see a movie before the movie starts, a big ad of Madhya Pradesh tourism holds up. Haven't you seen that ad?
Yes, sir, I have.
You
Incredible
are
Madhya
from
Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh. You can only
Yes,
name
sir. The
two
tagline
tourist
itself is
places.
Incredible Madhya Pradesh.
You can only name two tourist places of Madhya Pradesh.
So there are
Uh,
many. So okay. So there is
Khajuraho,
Khajuraho as well,
Khajuraho
Khajuraho
temple.
temple.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bedaghat.
It is very nearby to my place. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Page
Ma'am, Khajuraho.
National Park is also there. It's famous for snakes.
Okay, ma'am, I will remember it. I have not heard of it, to be really honest.
Like, can you, what is I'll say, what are the tourist places? Can you name any tourist place of Rajasthan?
Sir, Jaipur, Udaipur.
Why are they that much famous?
So I guess for the architectural beauty, these have been royal cities. So they have royal monuments. Uh, people visit to see them.
My point here is that Taj
Yes, sir.
Mahal is not the only thing which represents India or is the most popular thing in India. Although for a very long time it has been representing India in that tourism perspective. But there are many temples in South as well. I can name you many temples which have such great architecture and so on things. So. My point is making, if we made, suppose we spend a lot of money in Ram Mandir and we can attract a huge tourism. Do you think it could contribute to India's GDP, or what rather government should make instead of Ram Mandir, if you can suggest anything?
Okay, sir. So first of all, the question which you asked, that if the Ram Mandir becomes profitable, talking economically, specifically talking economically, so it is very good. I would appreciate it. And so if I had the choice for driving the other money, the money left, or if by cutting the costs of Ram Mandir, I would surely. COVID has taught us that we need better health infrastructure in our country. So, sir, I would surely want to drive money into healthcare and so also education. So, because when you make education efficient, you make everything efficient.
Okay.
That yes, sir.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, sir, I do. Certainly, I do.
You believe there is a God? There
Yes,
is
sir,
a
I do.
single God, or there are multiple gods?
So, there are, from what I believe, there is a single God.
Single God. So,
Yes.
according to Hinduism believes in multiple gods, right? Islam believes in a single God. Christianity believes in a single God. So, if you believe, would you rather position Hinduism on a lower level than these religions, just because you believe in single God?
Because, sir, from what I have heard, that in Hinduism as well, there is single God, which is Sri Krishna or Sri Ram. So,
No,
and
no,
so
certainly it
like
is
and
not.
other.
Certainly it is not.
Okay,
Let me
sir.
correct you. There are
Okay,
certainly, it
sir.
is said that there are 3 days. And I said I
Okay.
already heard it in a mythological story. You might have heard it. So
Yes, sir.
there are 3 days. So Krishna is a form of Vishnu, all right, and there is a Brahma
Okay.
and there is a Shiv. So there are in Hinduism we believe there are 3 gods with equal powers. So there is no such concept for a single supreme lord in
Okay.
Hinduism. All right, so that is what I'm asking. Would you rather position Hinduism on a lower level than other religions who believe in a single Lord?
No, sir, surely I would not. And sir, I do not have enough knowledge to judge these as of now, to be really honest. Like I told you about the single godship, someone had told me that Sir Krishna and Ram are the supreme gods, and others are like ministers, like they are Devi Devtas. So it's like the prime minister and the council of ministers heading over each departments.
So there is
sir,
a
clearly,
lack of knowledge.
yeah, sir. So clearly, as you corrected me, so sir, I find myself, sir, it is not prudent to comment without having specific knowledge on this topic, sir.
Can you please tell me what are you thinking of opting for as an optional subject in UPSC? I'd rather ask from there.
Okay, sir. As of now, sir, I am exploring, but in the current position, if I was, if I had to select today, I would select public administration, sir.
Public administration.
Yes,
I'll ask the same question as asked to the earlier constituent. Suppose you are made the SP.
Okay, sir.
Right. You are an IPS officer, and you are now positioned as an SP of Chhattisgarh or Raipur district.
Okay.
What are the problems you feel are there in Raipur, and how will you tackle it? Tell me only three problems, major problems.
So the first one is common in the entire India, in the entire policing system in India. That is the police behavior with the common people. They have this condescending attitude. So, the day of my joining, so even I have imagined these things several times, that what would I do when I become the DM or an SP. So, what I would do is I would call a meeting for all the SHOs and strictly instructing that one thing which cannot be tolerated while I am the SP is irresponsible behavior or condescending behavior.
Why do you believe police behave in such a way? What is the reason? There must be a reason, right?
Yes, sir. Sir, under the Criminal Procedure Code in the Indian Penal Code, there are some many powers given to the Indian police. So, and sir, the officers from the police department, they working in police department, they come to know about all the loopholes of such powers, sir. So they try to make people frightened. So that is why I use the word condescending. They believe that they are above the general public. So that is the main purpose. I mean, that is the main reason, sir.
Two more
problems. Yes, sir.
Two more problems you'd like to share.
Okay, sir. So second problem in the police department is police refuses to register FIR, especially the SHOs. So I would also direct them to register each and every FIR. I mean, police, the SHOs refrain from registering the FIR, sir. And sir, the third thing is specifically about ground patrolling, sir. I would order, like recently there's an example. One of the SPs in Madhya Pradesh, he ordered that except a few staff in the police station, no one would be sitting in the office from police department. Everyone will roam in the city. Everyone will do patrolling in the high market regions. High traffic regions in the markets and high traffic volume places. So that citizens should feel safe.
And the third thing?
So this was the third thing.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I believe time is up. We are already half an hour.
Just one question related to your answers. That if everybody will be in patrolling, then who will be in the police station to register FIRs? Since you mentioned that FIRs are making mandatory.
Okay. Ma'am, what I said was, except a few people in the police station,
okay.
I would want. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I missed it. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ma'am, because one of.
Yes.
Okay.
Continue.
Ma'am, one of the primary functions of police is that the citizen should feel safe in presence of police. The police is not only just for filing charge sheets and filing the FIRs. So, ma'am, that is why it is necessary.
Okay. Everyone listen to me very carefully. Those who are left with their interviews will conduct their interview in next session. But as of now, I believe there are some misconceptions. I want to talk to Vyapak regarding some things. So if Vyapak, you are not busy right now, or anyone else who's busy not right now, can continue with the session. But if you have to do something and you're busy, you can leave the session. In next session, if you're behind, your interview will be conducted.
And Bhagyalakshmi, you can also wait. Like I was having some few questions. I was thinking.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Yeah, Apak. The thing
Yes,
is, for the second reason, can you justify your second reason? Why do you think police do not register FIR?
Okay, sir. So I was reading this answer on Quora by a reputed IPS officer himself. So what he wrote is, there is a meeting of IPS of, the all the SHOs, station house officers. So they analyze, sir, and they give point to the SHOs, which also affects their promotions. So what happens is how the process of analyzing an SHO is that how many complaints were received and how many were, how many culprits were arrested and how many charge sheets are filed. So, ma'am, sir, what happens is that when an SHO registers an FIR, so the first thing is he becomes answerable to his seniors that why is this FIR pending. So, sir, that is the thing, that if he registers an FIR and he's not able to investigate the matter and arrest the culprits, that is clearly an mark of inconsistency in work. So, sir, that is the first. And also, sir, as the number of FIRs rise, it also signifies that the crime in that particular region is high. So, sir, sometimes it leads to the transfers of the SHOs from the DGP level. That in this region the FIRs are extremely high, so you should change the SHO. That what he is doing. So, sir, such circumstances arise in the police. So,
if you are an SP, then it is not in your hand because the system is already corrupted from above. If DGP or the GP is doing that things, so it is not in your hands, because if you say you have to register each and every FIR, then SHO will certainly not do, because he knows that if he or she knows that if I'm going to register each and every FIR, then it is going to affect his goodwill for that station, right? So it is certainly not in your hand. What do you think?
Okay, so as the SP or in states an SSP, so I will have the power to transfer the SHOs as well. So, sir, SHOs are very much afraid of the SP, sir, from what I believe. And sir, when I am the head of the district, it's not that I am here to overpower the SHOs. I am also to take all the responsibilities. And sir, short in the crime in my entire district. I will tell to the DGP that I am responsible for everything which happens in the district. So, sir, first thing I would try to do is inculcate confidence in all of the SHOs. It's not like that I simply keep ordering them without. So they should feel confident that if something arises, my SP is there to protect me. He will take the blame. And so that is the moral thing to do.
Okay, I'll tell you one truth about the police system. The reality is that why police is so much frustrated with and they behave in such a way is because of the main reason is the low income. Yes. Because we do know that police person is highly underpaid. Second thing is they have such high pressure, and also in certain circumstances they have to spend from their own pocket. We have seen that many police stations are been defaulted as electricity, stationery and transport, petrol, diesel. The amount of petrol and diesel oil allotted to the station is way below the expected or the real quantity they need to get, right? So the system is altogether corrupted and has a flaws. So as an SP, you cannot change those systems. You cannot allot more money to the stations, because it is not your duty. It is certainly the administration's duty, right? What are the real powers you have, or you can implement it on ground level, which can affect the civilian's life? That is what I'm asking. If you are pressurizing your subordinates, there will come a time when they will start revolting, right? So you don't want any sort of distress in police system, right? So what are the practical solutions you can implement on ground level? That is what I'm trying to get from you.
So the first one, so the last one which I about the patrolling thing, sir.
Like patrolling thing is certainly
yeah.
about the allotment of fuel, right? If we are,
Yes, sir.
they are getting a low amount of fuel, how they are going to patrol all the time? So that is not practically possible, right?
Sir, I have not known the policing system here in Chhattisgarh, surely, but sir, I have seen all levels of administration in Madhya Pradesh, surely, sir. So, sir, what's seen in Madhya Pradesh is, I don't know whether it happens in Chhattisgarh or not. And, sir, I believe that this is the case in Uttar Pradesh as well, but I'm not confident of this in Uttar Pradesh's case. But I'm confident in Madhya Pradesh's case that a policemen do not need to pay at all for the petrol or any fuel expenses, sir. They're already allotted a booklet, sir. And, sir, they're already allotted a booklet. They can show the booklet and then they write something or do. I don't know the exact procedure, but they do not have the capping on the amount of fuel. And what they simply do is, sir, they have to mention that what did you do with the fuel? This is what you have to justify. And sir, this happens at every level, from police to, sir, I've seen people from general administration in Madhya Pradesh. And sir, even the case in Madhya Pradesh is that, sir, they have so much access to the fuel that they fill fuel in their personal vehicles as well from that booklet, sir. So, sir, sir, that is why, keeping that in mind, I proposed this idea.
All right. Okay.
I have surely heard about the stationery thing.
Yeah. All right. Thank you,
Yes,
Vyapak. It was very nice talking to you. Simran, ma'am, you wanted something from Bhagya Lakshmi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You may.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Simran, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I wanted to ask you, suppose if you're made a team leader and you need to quote an incident where you had to, let others accept your ideas, like you have to convey your ideas, and any incident that happened with you and you were the team leader, and can you quote it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I think the most recent one would be the English assignment, the English internal we just had on 9th of April, and we had to present PPT on different topics. And Machi sir gave us a wheel of fortune, and we had to pick topics according to our choice. And there were a lot of topics, and sir asked that. According to roll number, our team leaders were selected, and in my group, I was the leader. So he asked that what topic I would choose, and about in 15 or 20 topics, I chose butterfly effect. And a lot of people I knew did not know about butterfly effect, but I knew, and I knew that
There is a break in your voice. Wait, there is a break in your voice.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I was saying that I knew a lot of people do not know what butterfly effect is. So I told my team members that I'm choosing butterfly effect, and they said that you can choose women empowerment, global warming, yoga, and all such medical topics. But I said that let's do butterfly effect. And when it was chosen, Anil Maji sir stated that, why did you even choose this topic? I mean, when we had the presentation, this was the first question he asked. And I talked about how it is important for others to know different topics out of our comfort zone. So I told my team members that this is the topic, and I personally gave them all the materials related to the topic, all the movies, all the books, the
Can you
articles they can
explain
read.
this butterfly effect to all of us?
Okay, so
Yeah.
butterfly effect is a kind of theory which we say that a small incident in past can lead to a very drastic change in future. In the movie, Ray Bradbury's movie, A Sound of Thunder, we have seen how the death of a little butterfly resulted in tornado, earthquakes, and a lot of disturbance in the future. So, what I meant to understand, make the people understand what butterfly effect is, that you should take care of your actions. Even a small action can take up a very big effect in the future.
Yeah, like not wearing mask.
Yes,
Ultimately.
exactly. That was one of the examples. I told my team members that they should be putting up the example of coronavirus as a living example of butterfly effect. That how a man ate uncooked bat in the city of Wuhan, and it led to the whole world coming standstill.
Okay, so another question I have for you. You wanted
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
a tech entrepreneur, right? So it happens when
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes an entrepreneur need to visit different villages or different kind of places with different authenticity of people and culture, right? So you will also be getting such chances if you'll be an entrepreneur. So what you think, like being a girl, the dressing sense will affect the locality of the place and your impression towards it, and what kind of
Okay.
because people be
Okay.
commenting upon the dresses of women, right, regarding any crimes and everything. So what is your point
Yes.
upon it?
I think that looking professional should be the basic requirement of everybody in the professional field. So let's say uh, we are meeting up a group of people in Delhi, and a group of people from a village in Chhattisgarh for whatever the kind of work we would require. So I think that if we are dressing up completely modest, and like say we are in India, we can wear sari, suit, and all of these clothing. But if we are in any foreign countries, we can wear according to ourselves, and we do not have the pressure of wearing Indian dresses. But I think that if I'm Indian and I know how beautiful Indian dresses look, then it doesn't matter where I would be, I will always be wearing the traditional Indian clothing.
My take is on, like, when you will be visiting the villages and the kind of dressing and with the climate and everything you would like to prefer. And because when a girl visit to a village or something, I have seen that people be just looking at her, staring at her every time, because they don't often
Yes,
see
ma'am.
such established girls in their villages, right? They don't have such kind of environment,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
people often make views upon the person. So, and since we are girls and we are having a modern thinking that whatever we want to wear, we will wear, and what
We
is
can wear.
comfortable to wear. Yeah. So what is your take on this thing? I'm asking that.
I believe that according to place also we should take care of our clothing. Let's say I have an example about this, that during my Kathak years, my teacher, once one of my friends, she wore a shorts in Kathak class, and our sir was enraged. And he said that you are a student of Kathak, you are learning classical dance, and you should be wearing dresses accordingly. So a lot of people may believe, a lot of women may believe that what he said was wrong, but to think of it, you should dress according to the situations, of course.
I'm done with my questions. If anybody have, they can ask.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
have an
So can I
open question. Yes, Saurabh. You want to ask
can
something?
I ask something?
Sure, sure.
Sir, since this was our first interview, I would like you all board members honest review on how was my interview, and I don't. If that is bad, I just want to. I just want you all to say it bluntly that it was bad or good or anything like that.
All right. I will speak on a general perspective for everyone that when suppose let's talk on the perspective of UPSC interview. What when suppose if you are an UPSC aspirant and you clear prelims and mains and then you get a chance to go for a UPSC interview, then there they judge your philosophy as of they don't judge you they won't ask you much difficult questions or technical questions, but they would rather ask try to know your philosophy, your beliefs. So whenever you are asked some controversial questions like on the basis of Ram Mandir, what was your question?
So actually on dowry
Dowry,
only.
dowry, right. So if you took a stand that if he wants to give me as a gift, as a gesture of gift, I would accept it. But that is not what they are expecting, because on the take of dowry, they are very particular that you must reject it. But there is a certain delicacy with which you should tell express your feelings. That's I am a I am strict against strictly against dowry. Uh, if he insists, I will rather ask him to give me a small or a small gift, not a very expensive type of gift, because at the end of the day a gift is a gift. But if he gives me a very expensive gift, I will consider it as an dowry itself, right? So if I am in a higher position, I am an IS or IPS officer, I cannot do that. Or even if I am a simple civilian, right? So that is what you should take a stand for. Understood? On any
Any,
controversial. Yes, Mrinma.
anything that is expensive is considered to be a bribe or a dowry in any case. Either you be working in a company, or you be an IAS officer, or you be a simple civilian who is accepting gifts from their relatives. So it can be considered as a bribe, because these days people are sorry, dowry, because these days people are giving dowry in the name of gifts only. They be giving
Exactly.
the big lands and so as a gift to their son-in-law and all these things, but it isn't it ethical.
When you become an
Yeah.
IS or IPS officer per se, yeah. Wait a second. If you become, if you get on certain position on higher level, you will get many gifts, right?
Hmm.
But you cannot deny everyone. But you could place a certain parameter that I won't accept a gift of let's say more than 2,000 rupees. All right, you can set it for yourself. All right, so there must be a
Yes.
parameter. Understood?
Yes.
Vyapak, you say something?
So actually, when this question was asked by you, so I clearly remembered, if my memory is not betraying me, so this exact same question was asked by Drishti IAS board to Akshat Jain, and Akshat Jain happens to be All India rank 2 in
Right.
UPSC Civil Services
Yeah.
examination.
There are
So
many
this
questions
was the
which I
exact
copied in
question.
this session. Yeah. There are
Yes,
many
sir.
more
So, sir,
questions. Yeah.
yes, sir. So, sir, in this case, they said that, sir, in the civil services conduct rule, any gift above the value of 2,000 rupees is considered to be a bribe, not just to
Correct.
the civil servant, but also to the family members. Even if civil servant's son accepts a birthday gift from someone else, which is
Correct.
above the value of 2,000, that is considered to be to be a gift, to be a bribe to the civil servant.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That is the thing. That is why I quoted 2,000 rupees. Right.
Yes, sir.
On other controversial questions as well as Ram Mandir, to whom did I ask about the Ram Mandir?
The Vyapak.
So to
Vyapak.
me.
Yeah. So on Ram Mandir take as well, he took a very good stance. So you must take a neutral stance. You
Yes,
cannot
sir.
bow towards the government or you cannot bow towards any community. You must take a very neutral stand on that. All right. And also Mahatma Gandhi. Whom did I ask about Mahatma Gandhi?
I think Krishna.
Sir, me,
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna. So Mahatma Gandhi, if although he didn't have a very factual knowledge about it, but still, Mahatma Gandhi is a very respectful person. It doesn't matter what your personal views is, but when you're in an interview, you must quote him as he is a very great personality, a great leader, he might have done some things wrong, or maybe his ideology was not correct in that particular situation. Like I was going to ask you one question. Why do you think Mahatma Gandhi took off his non-cooperation movement? Non-cooperation movement was a very successful movement. It was the per se the most successful movement for the freedom, right? But why did he took it back? Anyone who could answer? Anyone? All right, no problem. The thing is, there was an incident in which a crowd did some violence in a police station. So
Yes, sir.
they
Chori
burned,
chora maybe.
yeah, chori chora. So they burned the police station and they killed all the policemen inside. So since Mahatma Gandhi was strictly against violence, so he thought that this movement could take a violent image. Hence, he pulled off the non-cooperation movement, and as a result, people like Bhagat Singh started revolting gone against Mahatma Gandhi, and started committing violence. So if you are preparing for such government exams, you must start reading history as well, right? So uh, yeah, Simran ma'am, there's something you want to add?
I just wanted to say that never use any strong words against anybody, whether be it Prime Minister, Mahatma Gandhi, or any such leader. Because, like, we cannot say directly that they are doing wrong. We don't have that ideology, and sometimes it happens that what is needed for the nation, what is needed for the country, is not matching with the ideology of the leader. Okay, so it happens. And similarly with the election thing, that election rallies and everything, so if we think like in a way that everything can be done via social media, right? Every policies and like they can communicate their messages via social media, but when we what is the sole purpose of these rallies? We all know that the lower middle class or the lower class people get money and all these things, and therefore they participate in these rallies, right? They
That
get
is a result for
wine and
unemployment, right?
everything. Yeah, sorry.
It is a result of unemployment.
Yeah, that is the reason of unemployment. And also, these people don't use social media. I don't think so. A lower class people be having big mobiles that they can use through it. So we have to bring a middle ground to everything. We just cannot in India or in these administration thing, nothing is black and white. Everything has to be in gray. So something election commission will also come up with. I hope that they will stop these rallies and come in something great middle ground and communicate.
I don't think so. All right. One more thing, Bhagya Lakshmi has one question I asked regarding the North India and South India dispute or distress.
I
It is
also
good
have
that,
that take
yeah,
in that.
yeah,
Okay, you go first.
all right. All right. So you took your stand that there is not such distress or no. That look, one thing is being neutral is good, but if you are denying the fact or reality, then it goes against. So we all can agree that there is a certain amount of distance between North Indians and South Indians. So you should take a proper stand for it, right? You cannot be very neutral on it, because it is a reality that there is some sort of stress. You should
Yes.
focus on what types of stress are there between two communities or two parts. Understood? Yeah, Simran ma'am, you were saying?
I was saying that, like, just for information, there is so many distress between North India and South Indian. One of the biggest is a Kaveri dispute, that they don't get enough water. Okay, South Indians don't get enough water, and that is a basic problem they are facing right now. Not right now, from few years, and it still haven't been sorted yet. And the other, with the cultural diversity, they're also facing different issues like North Indians don't include them. Many movies of North India also don't get published there. Okay, in South India, and so many different kind of issues are in there. So you cannot be like you cannot directly say, if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot just directly say that there isn't any distress. Like whenever you come up to an answer, try to be more neutral. Try to be more neutral towards it. It will help.
All right.
Sir,
Anyone? Yeah,
sir, I have one question.
please.
Sir, as you both are saying that we should be neutral, so sir, you asked me that tell me two negative things about Mahatma Gandhi. So how should we answer this type of question?
Uh, See, no person is perfect, right?
Yes, sir.
There must be some flaws with Mahatma Gandhi as well.
Yes, sir.
Like as I said that there are certain situations in which Mahatma Gandhi's ideology of non-violent or non-violence was not appropriate. So you could have said that doesn't mean that you are portraying that person as a negative person. You must start by saying that Mahatma Gandhi is a very great leader and he is a great personality. But what I believe he did wrong is this. Because no person
Okay,
is
sir.
perfect, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understood?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Can I ask one thing to Simran? Ma'am, can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I just visited your LinkedIn profile and saw that machine learning thing. I would love to know what basically is machine learning.
Okay, so I have two of my projects in machine learning, but in my company, I'm not working in machine learning anyhow. Okay, so let me tell you that machine learning is we teach the machine. Like I'm teaching my software that this is cat. Okay, so I'll be showing 1,000 images of cat with different postures, and we'll show that this is cat. Or let's take simplest example in your Google Photos. Your Google Photos identify you and tell you that you are Saurabh. Okay, I'm Simran. So why this is happening? Because the machine is learning it. The machine is grasping it that this thing should be named like that. Okay, and it all works from a great like neural networks. You need to learn first neural networks and different algorithms, that how all these things work. Let me help.
So basically, machine learning is we are feeding something into machine to
Hmm. We are feeding and teaching it that
yeah,
this is how you need to function.
yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
My first machine learning project, my project was that it was identifying negative and positive reviews of movies. Like if you have written this movie is not good, not bad. So one machine had to interpret and tell me that these are the negative reviews and these are the positive reviews. And the other one was real-time face detection. Real-time face
Yes.
detection, and which helps companies in taking attendance of the employees. Okay, so this was my major project.
We can have a separate session on machine learning debate, right?
Yeah.
There are many points regarding it. All right.
It's a
Yeah.
vast subject.
Correct. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to?
Are into UPSC.
There is a high chance that he or she won't disclose it.
Yes, sir.
Understood. So there's no point in asking anyone that if you are preparing for UPSC or not. All right. Understood my point.
Yes, sir. So
You can
that is
judge. You
so
can
that is
you can
absolutely
judge on the
correct.
basis of knowledge. You
Yes, sir.
can
That
judge
is
on
why
the
I
basis
asked.
of their knowledge.
Yes, sir. That is why I asked. You identify people preparing for UPSA.
Yeah. Better not ask anyone if you are preparing for UPSC or not. All right.
Surely, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you very much. We took this session continues
Actually,
for 1.5 hours.
we are all we took this interview in that UPSC form because we are all fond of it. But it's not like that we are preparing, but we are fond of it because it gives, a broad aspect to thinking, and we like to do it.
The interview is some sort of something which every student
Yeah,
has to go through. If you are
they have to relate
preparing
to
for
it.
the best interview, which is to be in the UPSC interview, then it is most certain that you are preparing for the best, right? So it will help you in every interview. That is what our sheer motive is.
Yoginath government to justify why they want this change. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am, you
So
did.
Everybody, please switch on your cameras. I want to see Aditi, Preeti, Ashish, everyone who is there. Aditi, you are my student. Okay.
Ma'am,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
yeah, she's from Ramanujan. Yeah.
Yeah. So my student coming in my college. Which branch?
Triple E,
Really? And
She's
first
my
year,
junior.
second year?
first year.
First year. Okay. Yeah, I was
She,
thinking that this Aditi Chandrakar, like she's my student.
all right, Aditi and Preeti are left for the next session. Someone else is also left. Those who are left will continue your interview in next session. I just tell me a rough estimate. How was the session? It was too long or it was dilatory?
Sir, it was long, but it was
Good.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
I reckon that it was
Loved it.
perfect, sir. I mean,
worth time, sir. This session was.
yes, sir.
You might have done some self-assessment as well,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
because I
Yes, sir.
myself have done a lot of self-assessment, right? So, all right, it was quite a good session. Thanks for attending today's session, and I hope you have a nice day.
And
Yeah.
Shivani,
Simran,
one feedback to you. Just
Yes,
be
ma'am.
confident. You just be confident. You don't
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to hesitate. Okay, you speak
Yes,
very
ma'am.
fluently, but what I saw is that you lack confidence. So just be
Yes,
confident. It's
ma'am.
all chilling here. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The motto
Ma'am,
of my joining this session is to increase my confidence level.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, Vyapak.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, I would like to ask Shivan ma'am, sir, one point of interest is that how did ma'am change from ET&T to computer science department? Because it's the same case. I have been
Mm.
allotted electronics and telecommunication, ma'am.
Since in my class 11th, I have taken my optional as computer science, and that
Yes, ma'am.
was the only reason because I was too much interested into computer science and coding. Knew C++ very well. So, but due to my I got allotted electronics and telecommunication. But then I got slided and I topped in first semester, so I got that seat that was left.
Okay. So, ma'am, the procedure is to top in the first semester. That is what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the only procedure to get into that. And I don't think so computer science have much seats. So luckily that time one seat was left and I got that. So if
Yeah.
there wasn't a seat, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, Preeti, you want to
actually,
ask
I
something?
am currently learning. Sorry, can I continue?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, ma'am, I am currently learning Android app development and I love Java language. So I am from AT&T branch. So should I jump to CSE or is it good in AT&T?
It is upon you. It's not like that you cannot learn. In fact, many of my friends from electronic and communications are good in coding, and it's upon the interest. Like if you can do it, you will be able to do it. It's not like that you have to jump into computer science. It's not like that. I
Sir,
had
previously
a choice and I had the seat, so I took it.
I talked to some of my brothers, big brothers who are in IT department. So they say that it is beneficial to have AT&T because if you are good enough in coding and then you can get that coding job also. And
Yeah.
is that an AT&T pure means the AT&T physical work that you can.
ET&T has an advantage of IES as well because computer science student cannot give that examination, right? So with that thing, it has great advantage as well as you get to learn more things. Computer science, we don't get to learn so many things regarding electronics and telecommunications. So it's fine. It's your choice. It's completely your choice. You don't have to take load. If
Yes,
you
sir.
want to learn, you can learn and go on.
Yeah, Preeti, you wanted to ask something?
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Sir, ma'am, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, during this COVID period, around my neighbor, many people are dying due to COVID positive. So people are talking about more negativity about life. So how to overcome from this negativity?
To overcome from this negativity. Um,
Yes,
low
ma'am.
line, can you please repeat your question? Low line workers or front line workers you want to know?
No, ma'am. Many people are dying due to COVID positive around near my neighborhood. So people
Yeah.
are talking to each other very negatively. So how to overcome from this negativity?
Yeah. So even in my contacts, even in my house, we lost a member due to COVID, and many of my neighborhood also died because of it. I understand the situation very well and your question as well. But you know what is happening? I in these last 7 days, I have seen or heard about so many people dying that I don't even feel it now. Like it feels neutral and it feels like अपनी जान बचानी है सबसे पहले वही करना है. It happens like that. The only priority we all are giving is to ourselves. In my house, we all are giving is to ourselves and we have to live. And this is what is happening outside the situation as well. One of my family member, my Tauji, that's Bade Papa died last week due to COVID. And so many relatives, like every day we are getting calls that someone died or some, and I'm also working with an NGO to provide some resources. So if it happened last night as only that I was helping a guy for his father to get a ventilator and sorry to get a bed in the hospital, and